Hello again. Now it's time to another little special tutorial. This is a sticky aperture blades in a Russian VEGA 28B. The blades are very sticky. I mean, it cannot do anything. So, but let's go ahead. It's not that complicated. So have fun. Now this is the Russian, made of only metal and glass. It's a nice coating actually. The focus is very long. Focus ring has a long travel from infinity to near distance. The problem is actually the aperture system. So if I set it to something, let's say 2.8 and close down to 22, absolutely nothing happens. I mean, nothing at all. So even if I press the little pin behind, nothing is happening. Yeah, I can do the depth of field thingy and close it up, but if I move it again, I have to stop down again. But nothing really happens anyway. You see? Too much oil. It looks okay, well, kind of okay from the front. But let's have a look inside. I set it to 2.8. The distance, because we need to take the front part of here. So I set it to short test distance. It will say 1.2 meter. Just let it stay there and set it to 2.8, the aperture reading. Now, I will begin to take off the nameplate. No, I begin with the back. 3 screws have to be taken off. Just need a simple 2mm flathead screwdriver, nothing special, and then take them off. Put the small screws, in a group so you know where it belongs to. So I do this. Wow, see a lot of oil in here. I mean, I've been into this lens before I make this film, just to have a kind of okay what I'm going into. So just need to wipe that too much oil away. So there's a lot of oil in this lens. Don't know how people can use so much oil. Well, the next is the 3 screws here. 1, 2, and 3. Now take care when taking off the back part here, because you need to keep 2 fingers on the aperture ring, because there are 2 small steel balls in the aperture system that makes the click. So keep 2 fingers on here, and then just use just a little bigger screwdriver, because they are the biggest screw in this lens for now. And the last one. And then just lift off the, we can just take a short look. When, if the aperture blades was okay, this part in here could actually be moved, so I could press the little pin, but if we can do so, no. Need to put it so on Aperture 22, and then move the blades, but they are so sticky in the Aperture system, so it won't, there's simply not enough tension in the spring to move the Aperture system back and forth. So we set it to 2.8 again, and then take out this away. Nothing really special. See the small pin here. Okay. Now we are on the back side of the lens. Maybe you can see all the shiny oil film. This is the Aperture ring that should actually move this. If I move the Aperture ring to 22, then I could just move this part. But the blades are very sticky, so this one cannot move itself, even if there's a lot of oil. There's simply too much oil in this whole lens. That's a shame. And see the bearings. If you want to go further into the lens, take care of the small steel balls here, because they are actually part of the Aperture ring system. But so I will take off the Aperture ring, but one needs to take care, because in the bottom part of the circle here, the Aperture's balls, click balls, are located in this area. So and then you maybe can see the notches here. So when moving, so one have to lift a screw out, unscrew this screw here, which actually hold the ring in place, is a big headed screw that needs to take out. And then keeping one finger here and lift the Aperture ring this way, because then you are more safe to see where the small balls is. See them? Okay. It's amazing how much grease and oil in this lens. So one ball stays here and the other one stays here. That's all for now. Now, the one part we need to take out is actually the this part here. It's all the way around here. We also need to take out this part here. It's the one that actually moved there's a pin here that push on this piece of metal. I don't know what it's called, but it push on so it can actually move the blades inside. We need to take out this too. So I decided to, because I have to go back again, know where this piece of metal actually, the position of that. So I take out one screw. I think this lens has been disassembled sometimes. Well, now I make a small mark here, actually there, and I make mark in here, so I know exactly where this part sits correct. I haven't at all seen a service manual for this lens, so I need to do it my way. So this part needs to be taken out. See? Where the two screws belongs to. Just there, okay. Now, then we go to the front part of the lens. So set it to 1.2 meter, because then we need to take some part of the front here, and we take out the glass, and we take the whole inner part out. So I need a gasket, sticky rubber. This is 56.6 millimeter in diameter, and it's pretty good to take off those nameplates like this. Just put it on and then it has a good grip. So, all metal. Now, we have 3 screws up here, but we don't need to take them out yet, because we have one set screw here, there, and there. Just loosen them. No need to take them out. So they're pretty long, so it shouldn't be a problem to let them be in there. So that's it. And put it back in so I know where it is. And then the last one. I use a 1.2 millimeter screwdriver, flathead. In this case is a Vega. Not the lens, but you can see 1.2 millimeter. Now, I unscrew this counterclockwise by so here we are. Okay. Now, so we need to take out the 3 screws here. Before doing that, I would recommend, because some parts are actually moving, and if you do it wrong, you can have problems to put it back. So before taking out the front part here, put a small mark here, there, and there, so it has in line with the distance mark, so you know where it actually stays. Too much grease in this lens. Amazing. Now, short screws. So, and now I take out the whole lens block with the aperture system and front lens and back lens, and just let it drop in my hand. You see, one thing is also important, so you know where it goes. Put a mark here, right here, and a mark here, so you know it cannot sit the opposite direction. So I just let it fall in my hand. See? And don't move the focus ring. Of course, if you need to do that, well, do so, but not in this case. So just put it aside. See? Now we are actually in. It's the whole lens block with the aperture system and the lenses, and it's pretty sticky. Of course I will clean the lens after, but so now I will take out the front lens, because I need to go inside the lens. I use a compass, small compass, steel, which I grind pointy, so it can fit like this in the 2 small notches. So just have a good grip and then turn counterclockwise. So the front retaining ring. So now I could actually just let all the lenses fall down into my rubber tool here, which I just do so. That's it. But we can just have a look on the lenses. Front lens, ring, middle lens, another lens, middle part. But just put it aside. And then we go directly into the aperture system. There is one thing, just in case of things go wrong, just put a mark here on the this ring and inside here, just to be sure you are absolutely sure where it is. So then we have 3 screws around here, one here, one here, and the last one is here. Those 3 screws holding the aperture blades in place. So just unscrew it. This is for the front ring. And we just need to put them there. So now it should actually be possible to use another of those rubber tools to just let it fall down to this. So I just put it in here, turn it around and see what happened. And then just let it fall in here. Now, put that aside. Then we have actually the whole system here, which I can move. Another thing is, before disassemble into the blades, I do put a mark here, which is the same mark as inside the lens block, but I also put a mark on here so I know where the aperture ring that actually moves the blades, which is where it is when it's correct. Just to be sure, I also put a mark on here. Maybe one will say that's not important to me. No, but I do it my way because I do not have a service manual for this. Now there are 3 screws around here, 1, 2 and 3. We need to take them out so we actually can get into the blades. keep 2 fingers on. So this thing will not fall apart before you actually is ready. Now set it to full open, because it will make it a little easier to take the whole thing out. Set it to full open, and then just put a nail in here and come around. Then it will actually loosen. Then it's easy to open up. We do it again, out of frame. So do like this. It's very not slippery, but it's actually very sticky. Now here we are into the blades. There is a ring in here that is actually bearings, ball bearings that move this here. Well, now it's time to take out the blades and put them into something isopropylalcohol. And let them stay there for a while. By doing so, we begin with full open and just move one blade. Oh, actually, oh, it's almost so sticky. Really, really sticky. Not all the blades, but some of them is actually pretty sticky. So now we can move this blade so it's actually is possible to take it out. So put them in here. They are all the same, so they don't need special place. Some of them sit simply sticky together. And the last one. Hui. So that's it, part of it. You see why it is so important to put a mark on where things has to sit, because if you don't put it correct, you will have it over there, or there, or there. This is just like a small bearing. It's amazing. And I can always find back again because I put marks on. So remember that. So now I will just wipe the blades clean from all this gummy oil or grease or whatever they put and this this lens. It will be so good. See, a lot of oil. Hopefully it will work better. I mean, it can only be better. Some of the blades are not in so good shape, but I hope it will be okay for don't bend the blade too much. Wow, it'll be, I think it will be fine. It's actually very relaxing to work with that kind of stuff. So it's just like a good puzzle. Whoa, see how dirty they are. I think it will work pretty well. Pretty good after this treatment. You. Okay, one more time. And then the last one. Whoa, 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 whoa. Easy little fellow. So, just need to take some of those blades, get a little wet. So, but I also need to clean this part, because it's also pretty wet of old. Yeah, I see. It's well, just a little, one should say, very dirty. This part I will only use cotton buds to just like a ball bearing. Amazing work. Now, that's it. Sorry. Now I will put them back in again, all the blades. You see, the blades has to go under the groove around before I put it into the hole. It needs to go under here and then fall into the hole. Oh, I think this will be so good. I mean, can only be better. The last two blades I put in, they need to I need to move them other blades before they can come in. So I will move this slightly, then put this in. See? And then I need to move those blades even more, but not so they fall off. Then it should be possible to put in the last blades. So now then I need some help from a tool, dentist tool, because I need to lift the last blade up a little. At the same time when I move this, not good, yeah. So now it's actually okay. Then I just need to find my small mark here. There it is. Correct. Then I can put this on because I know where it sits. So that's not really a problem. It should just fall into place. And the screw, small screw in here, the hole needs to sit correct. So when I move this, wow, look, it will be so good. Then I can put the screws back in again and they go all the way back. Well, it looks pretty good, Right. Well, now it's time to put it back in again. And I have no problem with finding where things has to sit when it sits correct. Because I have my, which I set earlier, there's one here, and I have my mark here. So this goes all the way back into the lens. I can just let it stay full open and use my rubber thingy, mark here, of course I have this thing, so I also know where it sits when it's correct. So there shouldn't be any problem with that lens. But just in case, because there is no one to ask about doing so and so. Then I have my small screws here, which I put in. I think it will be good. Interesting lens, very different from many other brands. I mean, modern lenses. Gently tighten the screws. So, wow, great. Well, now it's time to put in the lens, the whole lens system. and put the whole thing over here. Turn it around, and here we are. I know I set some fingerprints on here. But I will sooner clean it, so no problem with that. Click. And then use my compass to do the rest. That's it. Now, then I need to put it back in here. As I put the helicoil system, the focus system away, I just let this stay with a mark on in line with the distance mark and 1.2 meter. And remember, I put a mark on here, top of one screw, so I know exactly where it goes in. Because on the back side here, we need to put it on the both of the two focus, focus guides or whatever it calls. And this ring can actually be moved, but as long as I have put a mark, I know where things has to sit. So now it's secure to work with. And then I can put the front ring here. Just go a little backward, then it says click somewhere here. And then the 3 small set screws. And then we are almost there. As a really, somebody has simply used too much oil or grease or so there's also too much oil here. It's amazing. Well, this was only a tutorial to show how the it actually looks inside. So now the aperture thingy here, which I don't know what name it is, has to go over the pin here. It's much better. There's already tension on this aperture, so I think it will be pretty good. Well, at least I can show how the aperture system was put together. So one screw here. Gosh, is really alive right now. So and the other screw. Now, there we have it. And now the aperture ring with the two small steel balls. Which has to sit here. There's already a lot of grease, so it does need to be put in more grease. So this has to stay there. This pin here has to stay there, and then just put the ring on and press so the steel balls go in and press down. And then put the lock screw on. So maybe it needs a more tutorial, but see how it's that was a bit too need to do so. It was not sit correct. Now it sits okay. Well, it's not that good. I mean,